Every year in the United States, over 5.4 million people are affected by Alzheimer's and dementia. Here in Polk County, that number is over 15,000, not to mention the countless thousands more that are affected who are their caregivers and members of their family. With us today from the Alzheimer's Association Florida Gulf Coast chapter is Stefanie Thompson.
Hi.
Dr. Sherrie Nickell is a caregiver for the organization, and Gail Bagely, who is a project coordinator for Comfort Keepers. Now, something that's always kind of interested me, I've always thought that Alzheimer's and dementia were the same thing.
Right, that's a very common question. We receive that question a lot of times. Alzheimer's disease is a type of dementia, and there's over 52 different types of dementia. So if you want to think of an umbrella, dementia is the overall type, it's the overall descriptive word of what it is. And what dementia is, it's a collection of symptoms that are interfering with daily functioning. Memory loss is the main symptom that most people recognize. So with Alzheimer's disease, short-term memory loss is the first symptom that you normally see, but there's other symptoms that happen. There's other cognitive functioning, other impairments that happen to people with Alzheimer's disease.
Tell me a little bit about the Alzheimer's Association of Florida Gulf Coast.
Sure. We're a chapter of the National Alzheimer's Association. We serve 17 counties. Polk County is one of the areas that we do cover. We are very supportive to family members that are affected by the disease, including caregivers. And in April 4th, we have a large Dementia Care Conference that's coming to Polk County to help support the educational needs of families that are affected by Alzheimer's disease and related dementias.
Excellent. Now, Gail, I know that you're with Comfort Keepers. What is Comfort Keepers?
Comfort Keepers is a for-profit company that provides in-home care for families, especially for the elderly. But one of our emphasis is in the care of those who are struggling with dementia. And we've been in the Polk County area for about 11 years. We have offices in different areas of Florida also. But one of our areas of strong emphasis is in the care of those with dementia. And we also provide a very important nutritional aspect of that. We try to help educate the family and the caregiver on how nutritional care can support those with Alzheimer's.
Excellent. And Dr. Nickell, I know that you were directly affected by Alzheimer's. What do you actually do as a caregiver in that sort of a situation?
My journey as a caregiver has been very interesting because I've sort of made education my life, and I have obtained a whole new education as I've been traveling this journey as a caregiver. Unfortunately, my husband is severely affected by dementia. And through this journey, it's been so incredibly helpful to me to get to know Gail and the folks at Comfort Keepers, for example, because we certainly needed their services. And to get to know Stefanie and the Alzheimer's Association has just been a godsend. I have been to several of the symposia that they offer, and they've been just a wealth of information for me, because unless you are affected by this disease, you sometimes think that it's for someone else to know. But for me, it has been incredibly important to educate myself in all the different aspects of being a caregiver, the different behaviors that can be expected by the dementias, and what to do about them and what my role must be. So it's been super helpful for me to know these ladies.
Well, it's always great to have that support system in
Absolutely,
place,
yes.
especially in times of needs like that.
You bet.
Now, with Alzheimer's and dementia both being such major emphasis of what you're dealing with, what is it that the Alzheimer's Association Florida Gulf Coast does with local people who are affected by this? What do they what services do you directly offer?
Okay, that's a really great question. We have a lot of services. We have a 24-hour helpline, so people call our local office, but they also can call our 1-800 number, and I'm sure that you guys could show that 1-800 number online. We also have a website where people can gain information. So for the helpline, people call in and they can ask us questions about the disease. Typical questions are, my loved one is showing some symptoms, I'm seeing memory loss, they're misplacing things, I couldn't find my car, could be the person feeling like they're showing symptoms. And we direct them to local resources, where you should go for more help, what doctors, usually a neurologist or a memory disorder clinic, sometimes a psychologist. Sometimes people like to start with their primary care physician. Or I'll get a caregiver to call in that says, you know, my husband keeps talking about wanting to go home. What should I do? And we'll give them some education about symptoms of the disease. You know, a lot of times when the disease progresses, the person might revert back to long-term memory, and they might feel like they want to go home. Well, they are home, but their home they're looking for could be a home when they were younger, when they were a child, or maybe when they were 20 years old. So we just educate the caregiver about that. We also have support groups, and in Polk County we have about 25 groups where families can join together and get education from each other and have a local support system for that. And then we do a lot of caregiver education. And again, the big event that we're trying to promote today is the April 4th event. It's the Think About It Dementia Care Conference. And I've got, you know, different speakers coming from all over Polk County, but I've got some coming from USF Tampa, and I have a speaker, Jack York. He's coming from Colorado to talk about technology and how technology can help families affected by the disease.
Now, I know that you went into a few of the major symptoms that people can kind of see in what you were just saying. Now, what are some of the other symptoms that people should take a look out for in their own lives and in those of people that they love?
I would encourage someone to go to alz.org and look up the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. I know for myself, I might go, let's say, to a grocery store in Park, and I'm a parent, you know, and so I'm, you know, what am I going to cook for dinner? When am I going to take my son to basketball practice? So I have everything else on my mind, and I might go back outside, and my car might not be there. Is that a symptom? Well, probably not. It's probably, you know, I'm just really busy. So you have to kind of, it's complicated. You have to kind of look at the whole pattern. If it's happening on a regular basis, that might be something to be concerned about. If you go to alz.org and look up the 10 warning signs, it will give you 10 symptoms of Alzheimer's disease, but also will tell you what's normal aging. One of the key indicators is if it's a change, if it's a change for you. Like I my whole life have not been really good at remembering names. But if I've been good at remembering names my whole life, and then all of a sudden or gradually, I'm having a more difficult time naming things or remembering somebody's name, that might be a symptom.
Okay.
But what I see a lot of times is caregivers, or not caregivers, but people that are having memory problems might get worried and self-diagnose. That's what we wouldn't want. We'd want them to go to a medical professional.
Sure, definitely. Now, I'm very excited about Think About It Dementia Care Conference that you guys have coming up. I know you mentioned a little bit about it earlier. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure. It starts at 1 o'clock and it ends at 5:30. It's at the Highland Park Church of the Nazarene in Lakeland, and it's a free event for family caregivers. We have a keynote speaker, and then we have a resource and health fair. So we have about 40 different organizations that specialize in dementia care that are going to be there for about an hour that caregivers can come and gain resources. Then after that, we have breakout sessions, so you have the opportunity to see or to attend 3 other workshops. So in total, we have about 7 choices for people, but you'll get to attend about 3 of them.
And you said that was free?
It's free, yes.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Now, what date is that on again?
It's April 4th, which is a Friday.
Okay. Well, I will definitely put that in my calendar.
4/4/14.
Do you mind if I add something also? There will be free respite care for those who have people in their family that are struggling with dementia that they would like to bring. They can't leave them at home, but that care will be provided, won't it?
It's off-site respite, yes, and we're getting full for that service. So if somebody needs it, they need to call my office right away, so we can get that arranged.
Excellent.
Yes.
We'll definitely make sure that people know about that, because that's very important.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Now, how often do you do things like this in the community?
This event in particular, we do this event. It's called the Think About It Dementia Care Conference. It's every 2 years we have this event. But there's ongoing training, not only from my organization, but other organizations are doing some training. For example, in December, Senior Helpers, with the support of Comfort Keepers and the Alzheimer's Association, we brought in Teepa Snow, which is a nationally known speaker on dementia care. So in Polk County, I feel like we have a really good support system where we always band together and bring not only local speakers that are important, but also some national speakers to talk about dementia care.
Well, fantastic, because of course, the main way that you deal with something like Alzheimer's and dementia is education. So thank you so much for everything you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Stefanie,
Yes.
Dr. Nickell, Gail, thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank
And,
you.
My pleasure.
If you'd like to find out more about, think about it, Dementia Care Conference, go to the Alzheimer's Association Florida Gulf Coast Chapter's website at www.alz.org/FL Gulf Coast. Or you can contact them by phone at 863-292-9210. And if you'd like to RSVP for this event, make sure you do it by April the 3rd.